So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist, we're gonna go through the first 6 series because I don't care about 7s or the 8th one. So, especially because they have, like, different art styles. So, we're doing the first 6. And I apologize about Arc V because there's 5 people there. Because they're kind of technically all the protagonists. I'll explain it when we get there. It's fine.
Okay.
Here's the classic boy. Here's Yugi.
Okay. So, am I just supposed to give my impressions?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Looks like he's wearing a flower on the back of his head.
That's a valid point. It's very poofy.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen wigs made for this hairstyle and they make me cry because they all look bad because of how much like product you need to make it stand up like that.
Yes. Spiky with a flower on it on his head.
Yeah. Alright, and then we've got the other protagonist of the first series, Atem, and this is
Wow.
art from one of like the mobile games because I could not find a single screenshot from the show that showed all of his hair. And I discovered while I was looking it up that these spikes, these like 3 ones right here, are drawn very inconsistently.
Oh.
Like, they're always all there, but sometimes they have like this little like lightning bolt thing going on, or like sometimes one of them will have it and not the others, or all 3 of them will have it, or like 2 of them will have it and not the last one, or like in this image they're all just straight. And that upset me a lot when I was looking at images. I was like, why is it so inconsistent? They have a character sheet.
Well, I mean, he either looks like he's wearing a crown or like a cat face on his head. I mean,
Let's go with crown because he was a pharaoh, so we can go with that.
okay.
um, we've got Judai or Jaden Yuki in the dub, which makes me upset. This is from the movie. I like him. He's a good boy.
This is not that dramatic, you know. It's definitely not as pointy as the first two. You know, but it does a little kind of looks a little like Sonic.
You know what? I see your point, but I think he looks more like Shadow because his points actually go up and Sonic's go down.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar enough with it, but that was my first impression. Just a little windswept, you know.
Mm-hmm. I called this type of hair duck butt hair.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think I have heard you call um, duck butt hair. Yes.
This is the good boy. He's the protagonist of the second series and is very traumatized.
Oh,
he's a happy boy in the movie and at the start of the series, but in seasons 3 and 4 he is not a happy boy.
oh.
We've got Yusei, who is the oldest protagonist.
Like a porcupine, or maybe like a dinosaur, like the dinosaurs with the plated bodies, you know.
Considering he's the motorcycle one, that makes sense. This is Mr. Card Games on motorcycles.
Okay. How do you play a card game on a motorcycle?
It's less complicated than you would think, but also, like, it's both somehow more stupid and less stupid than it sounds. But a lot of people compare him to a crab. Like, little crab hair.
You compare them to what?
Like a crab.
Oh, okay. I see. I get it.
You got Yuma, who's I'm not gonna talk about this, my opinions on this. I have
My,
many.
oh my.
Yeah.
Uh, um, like, I don't know what that is coming off his forehead.
He looks
That
like a lobster.
yeah, with bat wings. It sounds like something out of a Stephen King story or something. I
Oh
just
my god.
like the monster lobster things.
Oh my god. His whole design actually makes me upset. I didn't notice it when I watched it in middle school, but his whole design just like is like poorly put together, like color palette wise. And the hair doesn't help, but at least it's a consistent color palette with the rest of his stuff. Like
Yeah,
his shirt and pants like do not fit with his color palette, and it makes me sad.
yeah. And what's happening with his vest? Because I don't really
Um,
get
so
what's happening there.
counterpoint, this came out in 2011.
Hmm.
So I think that's on par
Okay,
with like Japanese or like Asian fashion in 2011. That's just what happens. Sorry. It's
gotcha.
it's it's like a cropped vest. It's a thing. Next we got Astral, who I couldn't find a shot of from the show where all of his hair is in frame, so you have concept art on the left side.
Um, yeah, that totally looks like an '80s hairband style.
Oh god, you're right.
Man, yeah, it, that hair is ready for headbanging.
Oh my god. I always like compare it to like a little crescent moon because he's a space alien.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Little Jetsonsy.
Mm-hmm. But he's the brain cell in Zexel. He's the one that actually knows what he's doing. Yuma does not know what he's doing. He's like, Yuma, here's how you win, and then Yuma's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to do that, and Yuma gets owned, and Astral's like, I literally told you not to do that. What is wrong with you?
That's what you showed me last week, right?
Uh,
Was it or a week or something?
I think so. I have no memory of past events. We so
Wow.
to preface this, you're gonna see the same face quite a lot, more than the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh has same face syndrome, because all of these next five are like kind of the same person. Like, okay, I hate having to explain Arc V because it makes me upset. So originally, they were all one person called Zark, and then Zark turned evil and got split up into 4 bits. So there's 4 boys with the same face, and also Zark,
Oh.
who is what happens when you put all of the boys in a blender. But this is the actual protagonist. This is Yuya.
He looks like a holiday nightmare. Like maybe a watermelon? I mean,
People call him a tomato.
yeah. Yeah, there's that too. I think the stripes on the green kind of lend a little more to a watermelon.
That makes sense. He's got like the dumb little pendulum necklace because he does pendulum summoning, which is stupid, and I hate it. It's not that complicated, but it lets you summon 5 monsters at once, which I think should be illegal. We've got Yuto. This image is baked because I couldn't find a shot with his hair in frame, so this is concept art that is very zoomed out, and then I had to crop it, so that's fine. Also, the way that their names are actually written is not how they're said, and it makes me sad. Because that's how his name is written, but this is how it's said.
Oh.
And I don't know why they did this. They did this for all of them. But this is the same face number 2.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on this one. He looks like an eggplant, I guess. Spiky, but it's not as quite as dramatic as some of the others. He's, like you said, a little smoothed out.
Yeah. He's also, like, significantly calmer and more reasonable than any of the other ones. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He also is the first one to, like, die, essentially. Because, like, a lot of the later Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, there's a lot of dead people happening. But he kinda dies. And I'm not going to elaborate on what I mean by kind of. Because that would take too long. Anyway, next same face. We have Yugo.
I mean, is that a hat?
No, that's all hair.
Oh. Because it kind of looks like a spiky cap, like a helmet or something, with some bangs hanging out.
No, that's just his head, unfortunately. He does have a helmet because he is also a motorcycle boy. But the helmet, like, hides all of the hair, basically, so it makes him look more normal. Because it's like a motorcycle helmet, so you can't see any of the hair.
Yeah. He's just a little weird.
We call him Banana Boy, because the yellow bit at the front looks like a bunch of bananas.
So what's the deal with the two-tone hair?
It's just a thing. Like, every Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist has to have at least 2 colors in their hair. It's just how it goes. I don't know if there was, like, a rule made at some point, but it's just what happens.
Okay.
Like, even Judai has 2 different browns in his hair. We've got this one, who Rylan, no, that's the other one. This guy sucks. He's evil. He's the evil twin.
Oh, well, he looks like the mountains that the hobbits go to destroy the ring.
Wait, you're right. That's a... Oh my god. So, I think he looks like a bug.
Oh.
He's got, like, antenna.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
I hate his eyebrows.
Well, lightning eyebrows.
I hate them. Why are they like that? Why are they different than everybody else's? Why would you make that different? Get out of here.
He's so evil.
He's the evil boy.
Lightning means evil, apparently.
Apparently. And then we have Zark, which, like, this is the only decent shot where you can see his hair and his face, but this is just what happens when you put all the boys in a blender.
I mean, this one looks like a bird is eating his head. You got the beak going on there, and the feathers flying back.
You know, I do see it. Yeah, I do see that, actually. That's kind of funny. I'm seeing things from a new perspective because I don't think to question the hair because it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! But now I'm like, oh wait, it does look like that. Well, we're finally done with Arc V. Now we go on to Vrains, which I actually cried watching. This is Yusaku, who is our protagonist boy.
Poor child. Oh my. Why? It's just unfortunate.
I actually think his is one of the better ones because at least it's like a pleasing color palette.
I mean, I suppose he at least matches his tie.
This is true. He does match his tie.
But yeah, I don't know what it looks like a hat gone wrong, like a jester's hat.
Aw, poor boy.
He
First
looks
he has first he has PTSD, now his hair looks like a messed up hat.
compared to all the other ones, it looks like somebody took a hand and like squished it all down.
That is true. It does look like that. So Yusaku kind of has two designs, because he's got his real world design, which is this one, and Vrains also has like a VR world, so he's got another design, which, you know, I'm not gonna say my opinion on, because that may affect yours, but here it is.
Whoa. Well, yeah, that's definitely different. So he's got like 3 colors going on here, and I mean, it's like he got all his spikies back. It's like now he's electrically charged, but he's not blue and pink anymore. You know, what happened to the blue and pink?
He left that back in the real world.
Oh, okay.
This is like a virtual reality. Like, this is like an avatar.
Okay.
There are a lot of like characters whose avatars like look nothing like them, so his actually looks surprisingly like him, which makes it really funny when nobody puts 2 and 2 together that they're the same person. It's like a Clark Kent situation. It's like, that is the same boy. That is the same boy. How do you not see that? But yeah, I like this one less because it doesn't feel like as good to me color palette wise.
Yeah. Yeah, when you first splash them up there, it's like, wow, every single time. And then I'm like, okay, it's normal, it's fine.
That's kind of how Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Does to you. It's like, you see all of these like wild hairstyles for the first time and you're like, whoa, what's that? And then like after watching it for like an episode, you're like, this is just normal to me now. This is just who I am. A person who looks at crazy hair. And then we have our final boy, who is he's an artificial intelligence that has sentience and turns evil in the final season and becomes like the main bad guy, but it's really sad.
It's like blades. I mean, he's so sharp, prickly, like knives,
pointy
claws, and it's hard to tell that his hair is not part of his outfit at the bottom. It looks like lapels.
Point. Oh, it does. It looks like kind of like a frilly bit that goes with like the little collar that sticks out.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, and then I was like, wait, it goes all the way down. That's hair.
Yeah. Wow, it really goes to show I don't think in depth about these designs when I'm looking at them, because you're pointing out all of these things and I'm like, oh, it does look like that. Wait. Yeah, that's final boy. Your suffering is over.
Okay.
How would you rate this experience?
It was a little traumatizing. It was like one of those Rorschach tests, where there's a whole lot of free association of what's going on the image.
Oh my god. You know what? I'll take it. This is fine.